first person I have on the list is Artistic Armory. I have Artistic Armory on here. Did you grow up religious? Are you still religious, or what's the deal?
I grew up religious, but I'm not anymore.
Hmm. What religion was it?
I used to be Christian. I don't remember what denomination, though.
Interesting. Okay. What was it like growing up in your religion?
Hmm. Um,
Did you go to church a lot, or were your parents religious?
yeah, I used to go to church a lot, though it was with my cousin.
Hmm.
My parents used to attend church, I believe, but they definitely don't anymore.
Really? Your parents don't go to church anymore, huh?
Yeah,
Interesting. I wonder why that is. So you didn't really have like a strong religious life growing up then?
right. Although I did take a lot after my cousin.
How so?
I guess just I just kind of believed whatever she told me.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I guess for the most part, I'd say it was a good thing because as a child, I was quite a bit of a thief,
Oh, really?
and so like yeah, so like she kind of helped me out a little.
Hmm.
Although I didn't stop until like after I stopped being Christian.
I wonder why that's the case.
Yeah.
You didn't really grow up with a Christian background, but your sister, you said, or I'm sorry, your cousin is the one who kind of formed out a lot of your ideas and philosophies behind things then. Is that right, roughly?
Yeah, pretty much.
Hmm. What other kind of stuff did she kind of teach you? You said she taught you not to steal and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, I don't really remember what else she taught me. I kind of forgot everything from
Right?
long ago.
I'm sure a lot of it was kind of internalized too, probably, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I know I used to be like a raging homophobe.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Was she kind of homophobic or no?
I don't really remember. I
Hmm.
don't remember where I got that from.
Hmm.
It was kind of funny because like at that time it was around like I think elementary, early middle school.
Hmm.
So I don't know, I just kind of funny like this little kid just like saying like gay people should go to hell.
Yeah. Like super extreme positions for a little kid to have, right?
Yeah.
I
And
find
it
that
turns out I'm bisexual now, so that's
there you go. See? Full circle. That's
yeah.
awesome though that you came to realize that
Yeah.
and accept it because I know that sometimes accepting it and especially coming out about it can be it's a struggle that I've never been able to identify with, but I understand it's really difficult.
Yeah.
Do
I
you
know like basically like it took until dating this one girl
right?
to help me fully realize that I wasn't straight. Because mainly because she pretended to be a guy when dating me.
Oh, really?
Um
And you didn't know until
yeah,
after?
yeah, because she was afraid to find out if I was like accepting of like LGBT people. And I
Wow.
think at that time I was really like starting to calm down about that whole thing.
That's
But
crazy. So, like, what was your reaction and how old were you at the time?
I think I was around 14.
Like, how did
I
you react to it when you found out that she was really a girl?
I was a little surprised, but I kind of just found it more romantic than anything, I
Really?
suppose. Yeah, some people call it abuse or manipulation. I'm not really sure.
You don't feel like that really fits in this case, though?
I don't, I don't think so.
I can't even imagine a situation like that for myself, or what I would do in that situation. I mean, I am as accepting as they come, but I just couldn't
Yeah,
continue a relationship with somebody like that. I just would not be able to.
yeah, that's pretty understandable.
So now you're here. Are you happy with like your viewpoints on things and stuff and how they've evolved, that kind of thing?
Definitely. I know when I was younger, past the Christian phase and past the anti-religion phase, I kind of got like pretty extreme in my political views. For example, I
Mm,
used to be like very, very far left,
mm.
but now I've kind of like chilled out and I'm more like center left or
Mm.
center right.
In what ways were you politically extreme?
Basically, I was willing to like try and like murder cops and
Mm,
government officials.
right. That is
I
pretty extreme.
Oh yeah, I remember like one time I was just nonchalantly talking about it in a forensics class, and the period after I got sent to the mental hospital for it.
Really?
Yeah.
That is insane. Well, I mean, at least you ended up getting help for it, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. I feel so much happier now.
Yeah. Sometimes it's really
I
hard
used
to get through that and get to the happy part.
Yeah, I used to be very, very paranoid about the government coming after me.
Do you mind telling me what country you live in? Are you in the US or?
Yeah, I live in the US.
Oh man, I was gonna peg you for a Canadian, because of how you say about. I thought Canadian for sure.
Yeah.
That's cool. But anyway, I
You are
appreciate you
Canadian.
coming on and talking to me. It's been a really interesting conversation. But maybe I'll talk to you again one of these days. Okay?
All right, it was fun talking to you.
Yeah, for sure. I went through kind of a politically extreme phase too, but mine was more right-wing extremism for a while, and now I'm no longer right-wing at all. I'm left-wing for sure. I'm very liberal in most ways. I also have some libertarian qualities to my viewpoints. Like for example, I don't think that the government should be involved in my love life at all. I don't know why the government's involved in my love life. I don't know why they have to be involved in my girlfriend or whatever else. That specifically for me, that means I don't ever know why anybody would get married, aside from tax benefits and medical insurance. That's it. And I would be willing to get married for those reasons, but I just don't see any other like I can handle the commitment between my girlfriend and myself just fine. And I can guarantee you that gay couples can handle their commitments with each other just fine. They don't need the government up in there. But denying them those benefits like tax and insurance benefits, which are really really important, that everybody else gets except for them, that is not giving equal rights to everybody. So either we should just abolish marriage or give it to everybody. That's the way I see it. The next person on the list is M the Spooky Witch, I think. So tell me, like, what religion were you originally? Are you still religious or?
Well, I went from a Christian Baptist to a Luciferian witch.
Really? A Christian Baptist to a Luciferian witch. So tell me about Luciferianism a little bit.
Well, okay, there's different types of Wicca, so it's just kind of a branch of that. Me specifically, I do things in devotion to Lucifer. We view
Okay.
him as the like he taught people how to think freely and like philosophy and all that. He taught people, just kind of sorry when I'm nervous, it's hard for me to talk.
Oh no, don't
But
worry about it.
basically, we'll see Lucifer, the name in Latin translates to the morning star, light bringer.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how we kind of see him as the bringer of light, the bringer of like knowledge to mankind. He taught people to stray away from God and to think for themselves.
Okay, so that's kind of
So
the
yeah,
philosophy behind it then.
for me anyway, some people kind of vary on that. It's
Mm.
very kind of, it's kind of open to other people's interpretation, but that's generally what it's about.
Okay, that makes sense. So that was Luciferian Witch. That's what it's called, right?
Yeah. Yeah, well,
Okay.
that's what I call myself. Some people call
Okay.
themselves a satanic witch, but
Okay.
I think
So
Lucifer sounds more elegant.
yeah, I think so too. That is pretty elegant. So what about you said you came from a Baptist denomination
Yes.
originally?
Yes. Well, my parents, they identify as Baptist,
Hmm.
and they weren't like always going to church. We started going to church when I was 6 because they got invited, but we stopped going because mainly we stopped going because we had some land out in East Texas, and every weekend we had to go and maintain it, so we weren't always able to go to church. And also because my mom was a little upset because they started preaching Leviticus, and she had a gay uncle, and she didn't like that they were talking about that.
Oh,
So that's why we left. They're Baptist, but they're very like open-minded and stuff.
are they independent fundamentalist Baptists by chance? Do you know?
Well, I mean, they just call themselves Christian, but
Okay,
they don't like go to church or anything.
got
Really,
you.
my mom actually, she kind of told me how she doesn't really she feels more comfortable like when worshiping, she feels more connected to God, like when she's out, like going for a walk or something, and like in nature, rather than in a stuffy old building surrounded by people she doesn't know. So
Sure.
yeah,
That makes sense. Well, at least
my
like your parents aren't super extreme then, right?
my dad's just kind of chill. Like like for example, like some of the stories like Moses or Adam and Eve, he believes those are kind of like fables that you're supposed to take lessons from. He doesn't believe that they're literal stories. And
Okay.
then both of them taught me, well, over the years, things can get mistranslated. That's why there's a lot of weird stuff in the book. So
Well, at
they,
least they taught you that
yeah.
because that's super true. I mean, if you go through some of the like original manuscripts and original translations, they do not mean anything close to what they claimed they meant. It's really
Oh, yeah.
crazy.
The old Hebrew, because I think it was Hebrew, that's what
Mm,
the old texts were written in, is a lot different from modern day Hebrew. So
yeah.
even that can get weird.
Yeah, and large swaths of it were written in Aramaic too. Like multiple books, multiple Bible books were Aramaic and just it's not the same at all. But you can actually there are parts of the Bible where you can read it and like the New Testament and see where the New Testament authors were trying to make things fit the Old Testament's
Exactly.
predictions. Kind of gives you a
Ex-
glimpse into their mindset.
exactly. So I was never baptized. My parents were always like, they always told me, get baptized when you're comfortable.
Mm,
And I just never ended up doing it. I didn't learn to swim till I was 10, and I was very freaked out about having to go underwater.
mm,
So that's
mm.
why I never did it. So yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think that what age do Baptists usually get baptized? Do you know? Is it around 10 or so
Well,
or?
my parents didn't get baptized until we started going to this new church. So they would have been in their 40s by then, but people of all ages get baptized, at
Right.
least at our church that we used to go to.
I know that in my church, in Jehovah's Witnesses religion, they really push people to get baptized as early as possible. Like, you'll find people who are getting baptized at like 20, 30, 40 years old who are just joining the religion for the first time. But for the most part, when you look in front of, like, in the front row, you'll find like 10 to 13-year-old kids, and then you'll find the occasional 8-year-old kid or 7-year-old in there. And
Yeah,
it's
like I
nuts.
think honestly, I think if I were a Christian and I were raising my kids Christian, I would tell them, um, do it when you feel like you're most
Yeah.
comfortable. And if they feel like they're comfortable when they're young, then so be it. But if they want to
Right.
wait, then all right.
Right. I know that my daughter Kylie was really pushing to get baptized as a Jehovah's Witness because my mom was like brainwashing her into it. She doesn't really have that desire
Oof.
anymore, luckily, but that's what I worry about. Like if a kid wants to get baptized really, really early, I worry that somebody pushed them into it. Like in my viewpoint, I feel like if somebody isn't old enough to get a tattoo, which is a permanent decision, or to get married, or
I
to
agree.
smoke cigarettes, why are they old enough to make this life-altering decision, this, dedication to this organization? Of course, it's a little different with Jehovah's Witnesses because it's more serious than
Right.
others, but still.
I remember earlier you were talking about like I recently saw your Wicca video. Like
Mm,
I'm kind of new to you, and I decided to search for that.
right.
and and I thought it was really good. But like I kind of wish you went into maybe talked about like the different branches of Wicca because there's so much to it.
Mm,
There's Christian witches, there's atheist witches. I've met a Mormon witch, believe it or
really?
not.
That's
There's
interesting.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
and like
Hmm.
it's there's a ton of stuff. Sorry, I'm kind of rambling.
Oh, no,
I'm
no,
a
you're
bit
good.
nervous.
No, you're good. That I know that's true. There is a lot to it, and I actually had like a lot of requests for like for Wicca to cover Wicca all the way up to that point, and I had been putting it off and putting it off because there is so much involved. It's so difficult
Yeah,
to know. It's almost like you got to completely immerse yourself in the culture to get a good grip on how everything works, and
right.
yeah, so I tried to take mostly broad strokes with the video and just kind of give a history of it, but one of these days maybe I'll revisit and go into more detail.
Yeah.
But
Because, like me personally, like I said, I was a Luciferian witch, but I'm also agnostic too.
mm,
So they can kind of, because I mean, yeah, they can kind of mix together.
yeah,
It's just so much. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a lot to it, and it is really fascinating. And like I said, one of these days I will cover it again. But anyway, appreciate you coming on and talking to me. It's been an interesting conversation. Maybe we'll talk again, okay?
All right.
All right. Let's see if I can get Brett. Oh, God, I have to pronounce the name again. I'll just let him say it. You're on. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Hey, that sounds a lot clearer. Everything seems to be
Okay.
working. How's it going?
Yeah, I switched. Pretty good. I switched to a Bluetooth headset, so hopefully that sounds
Perfect.
better.
All right, yeah, it sounds perfectly clear now. So tell me about this. Like you're an ex-Jehovah's Witness. Like tell me or just start from the day you're born and just go from there.
Well, I was born. I think I'm third generation. My grandparents, on my dad's side, is my grandfather's still an elder. My dad was an elder growing up for most of my life, and then my mom's mom was in it. So I grew up in the witnesses, and I got baptized at 15. So I'm 25 now, so it's been about 10 years. And then I got married, and actually my wife has a YouTube channel called Bravely You. I'm not sure if you've seen it.
I don't think so. Here, let me. Can you spell it?
It's just like Bravely and then you.
Bravely and then you. Okay. Let me.
Yeah,
I'll give that a look
she
later on.
has. Yeah, she has about 23,000 subscribers. But basically,
Really?
we're activists. Yeah, we're activists against Jehovah's Witnesses.
Huh. Okay. Wait a minute now. I'll just pull this up real fast and take a look. See here.
Yeah,
Let's see. How have I
she
never?
grew up as well. We're recent. Like we just started a month ago.
And you got
So
23,000 subscribers already?
yeah,
That's
yeah,
nuts.
it's very surprising. Yeah, we are talking out because my wife was actually abused as a kid by her father, who was an elder, and we went to court. That was the first thing. A week after we got married, in the or 2 weeks after we got married in the Kingdom Hall. Went on our honeymoon, and then the week after we went to court, took our father to court,
That
and
is
he's put
crazy.
away for 41
Very
years,
nice.
something like that.
I'm really glad to hear that. Like I always hate to hear the stories, but I'm always glad to hear the outcomes of those stories. And actually, I think it looks like at some point I have seen one of the videos. It appears to be like grayed
Oh
out,
yeah.
so I've seen it. That's kind of strange. I don't remember, but anyway, I will check that out for sure. That's super interesting.
Yeah, she
A
tells her
month,
story
huh?
on there.
Yeah, I can't believe you guys have been
Yeah, a
around and I
month.
didn't know about it.
Yeah, she's had a podcast for a while, but it's just been
Hmm.
on the podcast for like I think 3 months or something like that. So, but
Right,
once she did her YouTube, it kind of shut off.
right. I think it
And
took
she
me
has an Instagram.
I think it took me like a year and a half to get to that point. So that's pretty impressive. That's awesome that you made it up there. So you were
Yeah.
also Jehovah's Witness, you said, right? Your grandparents were Jehovah's
Yep.
Witnesses.
Yeah, my grandfather came in the truth when he was
The
I think in
truth,
his 20s. So
right?
yeah, the the truth. Sorry, I
Yeah.
was doing quotations. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, I do it too, still. But yeah, I think both of my parents are first generation, so I guess you could call me second generation. But
Yeah, I think my wife goes back. I think she says she's fifth generation, so
that is
she's been in it.
insane.
Her family's been in it forever.
Yeah, I mean, they may have even been like Bible students, original Bible students at that point.
Yeah, yeah, I think so too.
I'm glad that we all got
Yeah,
out of it though, because that is just
yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, the only part that sucks is losing like family and stuff. Like
yeah,
my wife lost her sister, which was basically the only family member that stuck with her because
yeah.
her mom took her father's side, so they're
W-
gone.
What about you? Did you lose any?
Um, I'm like halfway, like I'm pretty sure my family, because I'm also on the YouTube channel with my wife, so I'm pretty sure my parents have seen it, but they also still talk to me, so I'm not sure like how they stand. Like we haven't, we're about to send our letters in, which I'm surprised actually we haven't got a letter in the mail about being disfellowshipped, especially with
Mm,
23,000 or subscribers or so. Yeah, but I think it helped because we moved from Georgia to Portland, Oregon.
there you go. Did you have like, yeah, all right, here's one problem. So you guys are basically freshly out of the religion, right? In the past like 6 months or so?
Yeah.
Okay. I've been out for like 12 years now, and when I was in it, computer
Hmm.
records didn't exist at all. So they had like physical
Yeah.
publishers cards that had your information on them, and they had to mail them to the new congregation. So it was really easy to just
Hmm.
kind of fade out of existence and nobody be any the wiser. But I guess it's a little bit harder to do now, to kind of fade.
Yeah.
Is that what you did? Just move congregations and then just not really show up to the new one anymore?
Yeah, we didn't. The time we left Georgia was 7 months ago, so
Mm.
we already knew it wasn't the truth.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we left knowing that we were never going back, and
Right.
they haven't really contacted us here at all. So
But
we're just we wrote letters, but we also I sent a text to the elder that was in the congregation I was from about, and my wife did also, about we wanted to leave, but they were like, we need a letter
the
that's hand signed by both of you
yeah.
to remove you from the congregation.
All right, you know what? Fine. Don't even like if they're going to require me to put more effort into that, I'd be just like, whatever. Just
Yeah,
I won't even bother. But sometimes it's nice to be able to like stick it to them so that they just don't have your
yeah,
names on the books anymore. So you're not adding to their
yeah.
numbers or whatever.
Yeah, that's where we're at so far, because we don't want to support them at all, like
Yeah.
with their numbers. We want
Yeah.
to like just remove our names, but it's just tough for, like, we literally have to hand write everything and send it off. So we've just been neglecting it.
Yeah. What about the memorial? Did you go to the last memorial or are you going to go to the next
Uh,
one?
no, not. We haven't went to the last one. We went to the one before that. With that's actually, I think, was our last. No, wait, we went to, because the last memorial happened. Not the last one, but the one before that.
Mm.
And then we went to the special meeting. That
Right, I
was the
remember the
last meeting
special
I've ever been
meetings.
to.
I wanted to mention if you want to get your wife on, then all three of us could talk one of these days for like a full 30 minutes if you want, just to chat about it or whatever. Just something to think about. Just mention it and add me as a
Yeah,
friend on Discord, and I'll see if I can track you down one of these days, and we'll do that if you're interested in
yeah.
it.
She's right next to me, and she said she would.
Okay, well, hey, I'd be glad to have you on. That'd be pretty cool. But anyway, yeah, it's been an awesome talk. I appreciate you coming on. Glad that we got that worked
Yeah.
out because it's been an interesting conversation. But I will talk to you guys
And
later
what?
on, okay?
Oh, I want to mention that you actually helped me wake up too.
Oh, did
You
I
were one of the
really?
people.
That is so
Yeah.
awesome, man. I'm so glad to hear that.
I just want to thank you for that.
Yeah, well, thanks for listening. It was basically not me at all. I mean, you guys are just, you opened up to listening. If you hadn't opened up to it, then you'd still be stuck in there. So a lot of it was you guys doing on your own. But
Yeah,
anyway,
thanks.
yeah, thank you for watching my stuff and everything. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys later
Mhm.
on, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, that's super fascinating. Really glad to hear about all of that, and I got a new channel to take a look at some point. So that's pretty great. Anyway, all right, appreciate you guys coming and giving this a listen. It's been a really awesome podcast. Really had fun with this. I will talk to you guys next week.